Blue Collar Outdoor Guns and Reviews something. I've changed my name because the YouTube commies do not like gun channels. So now it's Blue Collar Outdoor Gear and Reviews, I think. I'm used to saying Blue Collar Guns and Gear. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I wanted to make a video about a Glock 27 and why I think it is a good idea for me. Maybe not for you, but for me, it is a good idea to have one. And a couple of the obvious reasons. It's a good concealment gun. It gives you a little bit more concealment than, say, a Glock 23, which is the next size up in 40 caliber, or say like a Glock 19, which is a gun that I carry on a regular basis. But it gives you a little bit more concealment than those guns when you need a little bit more deep concealment. So there's one reason. Plus it's a 40 caliber, which I like. Now the trend these days is to leave 40 caliber. 40 caliber sucks, whatever. Going to 9mm, and that's the way the trends go. I do not follow trends. I like 40 caliber. I like 9mm, but I like 40 caliber. I think it's a very good caliber, and I have not given up on it. So, and I'm not going to. So where the trends go one way, I usually go the other. And same with all these small carry guns. Everyone's, it seems like the entire carry world is just fascinated or just obsessed, it seems like, with smaller, whereas I like bigger. Like I'm looking to get my next gun will probably be a Glock 34, and it's going to be a concealed carry gun. The only reason I carry a gun is to defend myself. And if I'm ever, God forbid, in that situation again, I want to have the biggest gun I can get my hands on at short notice. And a Glock 34 is a pretty good option, I think. But here I go off subject. Either way, everyone has their opinions, and I like 40 caliber. So, it's my video. If you don't like it, make your own video. But the main reason I think a Glock 27 makes a lot of sense, and some of you probably know what I'm going to say, is the conversion barrels. And for a blue collar person, it makes a lot of sense to have one of these, because this is, in my opinion, it is the most versatile handgun in the world. If not, it is one of the top two that I'm aware of. The other one being the Ruger convertible. I think it's a take on I think it's a Black Hawk style, but it's called the Ruger convertible. But it's a single action revolver, shoots .357 Magnum, 38 special obviously, and it has a 9mm cylinder as well that comes with it. And so there's 3 calibers, all common calibers. But it's a single action revolver. Now don't get me wrong, I love revolvers. Anyone who knows me knows that. And I would love to have one, I really would. But for now, I don't have one. But the 27 is an extremely versatile gun. And the reason why I like it is because you can get the conversion barrels for 9mm or .357 SIG. And now I do recommend getting dedicated 9mm magazines, because it has been my experience that the 9mm round does not cycle well through a 40 caliber magazine. Now your mileage may vary, but not for me. It just does not work. It double feeds a lot, it jams up a lot, which is, it's okay if you're practicing malfunction drills or whatever. I don't think it's the most realistic way to practice malfunctions, because you're expecting it, and it's better to not expect it. But anyway, I recommend dedicated 9mm magazines if you're going to go with a 9mm conversion barrel. Okay? And the .357 SIG as well. Now, the .357 SIG, I have never had any problems feeding those rounds with a 40 caliber magazine. I guess because the rear end of the casing is the same diameter, same shape and size as the 40 caliber. It's just where it's neck down and the projectile is a .355, like a 357 Magnum or a 9mm. But the casing itself, especially the rear part, is the same as a 40 caliber. So perhaps that's why I've never had any trouble shooting 357 SIG out of a 40 caliber magazine. But with those three options, which are all three good, effective calibers, and pretty common. Now, the 357 SIG is not so common, and it's not the most inexpensive thing in the world either. But it's a very effective round, and I like it a lot, and so there's that. But this is a very versatile gun, and whereas you can put the conversion barrels in a Glock 22, which is the full-size 40 caliber, or the Glock 23, which is the mid-size, same size and shape, frame as the G19, they will not take every single double stack mag in those calibers. So the 27 will take every magazine, as long as it's a double stack, from those three calibers of all the Glock models. So you have in 40 caliber, you have the 27, the 23, and the 22, and they may perhaps make a longer, like a stick mag in 40, but I'm not certain about that, but they probably do. It will also take every 9mm magazine. That's a double stack again. Now that's the Glock 26, the Glock 23, excuse me, the Glock 19, the Glock 17, and it will take the 33 round Glock OEM stick magazines. And then in 357 SIG, it takes the Glock 33, Glock 32, Glock 31 magazines. Now, this may not be news to some of you, but to me, this is the most versatile handgun in the world, and that's why it makes sense to have one. I bought this one used from a guy here locally. I paid $400 for it. My two conversion barrels for 9mm and 357 SIG, I have a local supplier who I can get the Lone Wolf conversion barrels from for $130 a piece. They used to be $100, but now they're $130, so they've gone up a little bit. I have 100, or let's see, that would make $260, so that's about $660 total I have invested in this gun for the gun, which it had a couple of magazines that came with it, and the two conversion barrels. So really I have three guns in one for $660. Now that makes a lot of sense to someone who is an enthusiast, or just someone who carries, wants more options, whatever, than to have to go out and buy three different guns. I have three guns for $660, so that makes a lot of sense. One other thing I wanted to touch on with this Glock 27 is this particular magazine, which I left in here for this video. It also came with a flush 9-round mag, which is standard for the Glock 27. And this one has one of these, what is it called? The Pierce extension, whatever. I don't particularly care for these, maybe on a backup magazine or something, but the whole idea of one of these for someone, for a deep concealed carry gun, is to have a little bit shorter butt, grip here than, say, the Glock 23. Now, this is the part you're trying to conceal. This is the hardest part to conceal. So when you add this grip extension, let me pull out this, let's see, I have a 19 here. This is a Glock 19 Gen 4, same thing. My dog is going crazy here. Hey, Rosie, would you, no jumping. Ack! She's a Cane Corso puppy, an Italian Mastiff. She is something else. But anyway, when you look at these, compare these two grip lengths. All right, when you add this, see there, you're giving up a lot of capacity, and you're giving up your advantage of easier concealment because of the shorter grip. You're only adding one round of capacity. Yeah, you're adding a better grip to it, so that it can help you get 3 fingers on the gun. But if you're going to do that, you might as well get the Glock 23. Or if you're considering a 26, you might as well get a 19. And you'll have a better capacity, a longer sight radius, and it just makes more sense. I don't understand the Pierce grip extensions unless you just want to carry that for a backup. Okay, but for me, I just carry a G22 mag, which is the full-size 40 caliber 15-round magazine. That's my backup, and I normally do not put this in here. I carry the flush mag and a Glock 22 magazine for backup. That's how I do it. So that's just something else I wanted to touch on. If you're going to get one of these for deep concealment and you decide to put on one of these extenders because it gives you a better grip, you might as well just go with the Glock 23. But now if you're thinking about a versatile gun, if you're looking for versatility and you want to get the most versatility out of the gun that you can, I highly recommend the 27. It just makes a lot of sense. I think it is the most versatile gun in the world for the reasons that I've stated. And thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all come see us.